We've got all the officials out on the ground. This is nervy moments now as two representatives from each club make their way out onto the ground with the coveted cup that will be presented to the winner of this game in a couple of hours' time. So both teams looking at that forlornly going, geez, I hope I can take that home.
It's a prized possession, isn't it, Chase?
This is the decider. You know, the last 3 years, both these teams have been here a lot. So it sits in between both teams. They shake hands, the representatives.
Be upstanding and join Harvey Brunswick National, Bumbry and the umpires for the playing of the Australian National Anthem.
Chilling scenes. There could be no better feeling than standing there hearing the last notes ring out of the national anthem. You're about to play in a grand final for the biggest prize. It's all here on SEN, thanks to Recycling Made Easy, cashforcans.com.au, getcareers.com.au, and the fantastic support of Pacific Seeds as well. So the captains are out. We have Ben Cherry from Bunbury. We'll look to see who wins this one. It's won by HBL. They'll head to the southern end, the Bustleton end of the ground. So HBL take first blood in things that you can win today. The toss is theirs to be won.
It's a terrific start to the game, isn't it? We don't do that down in the lower southwest. You put the cup there right amongst the players that are fighting for it. I just think it gives it just that little bit of edge. They're all looking at it. They all want a
little
piece
table
of it.
maybe, might it just...
But just to have it in the middle of 40 players, it's a really good feel.
Yeah, that is the prize to be won. So both teams tight huddles through their last instructions. The moment is nearly here. So they make their way to the bench for Bunbury. Number 19, Tom Britton, makes his way off. Tex McGuinness, number 1. Number 4, Zakiva Lamotte. And number 16, Linus Butler. They will be the ones to start on the bench. HBL just out of their huddle now. And their 4 players will also make their way to the bench. If they do us a favour and turn around, we'll be able to tell you who they are.
Well, one's Westworth. I took notice of his knee brace.
That is a heavy knee brace. So, players making their way into position. It is HBL heading to the southern end of Hands Oval on this fantastic Saturday. Recycling Made Easy, cashforcans.com.au, getcareers.com.au, bringing you this Colts Grand Final. Bumbry to the left-hand side of your dial. This is going to be a big one to get our day started here. Grand Final Day, Southwest Football League 2025. Weaver, take us away.
All right, well, away we go. Colts Grand Final. All throws up, doesn't favour anyone in the middle. Harvey Brunswick break out of the middle. Drive it forward, just inside 50. Goes over the top of Manuel's head. Played league footy this year. They have the numbers. One of them is that man in Manuel. He'll drive it back inside 50. It's all about the bounce here. Bounces towards Falloon. He's tackled. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be thrown in 45 metres out from Harvey Brunswick's goal.
Really good tackle there. I think it was Mitch Perry.
Played a ripping game last week, Perry. So ball to be thrown in. 45 metres out. Been a slight push in the back there. Umpire lets it play on. Comes over to Scott. Terrific player. Front position. There was Priest. Missed the mark. Spills out the back towards Bell, the skipper. Just pops it onto his boot. And it's Groundhog Day. Goes out of bounds. Same position. Will be thrown in 45 metres out from the Lions' goal. So a little nervy start. Bunbury haven't got their hands on the footy too much. Opening couple of minutes for this quarter.
Set up really well, HBL, with the +1 behind the ball.
Ball in dispute. Knocked forward by Fairweather. Another solid tackle just inside 50. And the umpire this time will come in and throw the ball up.
So Alex Brooks getting tackled there. Good pressure here from HBL. It's just inside forward 50. Lots of numbers around the ball for Bumbry, so they're going to have to chain out if they're to win it. Up the ruckman go. It was won there by Edwards. Into forward half, falls to the ground again. Good pressure on. Getting through there was Manuel. He's had a couple of touches early. Still on the deck. It's fed out by Bunbury. Up through one. And missing the handball there was Crowley, but able to go back and find it and put pressure on. I think the player was taken without it. It was. So HBL will get their first legitimate look at goal here. And it's going to be from a pretty tight angle, so whether he looks to square it up, he's not really having a look, so I think he's going to have a stab. We'll just wait for him to turn around and see who this player is. Number 18 there, Buster Turner. I hope we get to call this name a little bit today. So Buster, the first look at goal. He is on a acute angle. Sets it up on its way, draws it back pretty nice, but it was to the near side. So first blood to HBL Recycling Made Easy, cashforcans.com.au. And we'll get our first look at Bunbury working their way out.
Geez, he done well there. He knew what he was doing, worked that left to right, just hit a little bit thin. So opening score, Colts grand final, 1 point goes the way of HBL. Ball's brought back in by Teresi, drives the ball on the far side of the ground. Plenty of numbers there. One of them was Joseph, brings the ball down. Solid tackle. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. 2.5 kicks out. Harvey Brunswick's goal. With 1 point the score, 3 minutes into the first quarter. Ruckman go at it again. Joseph wins it down. Comes straight back to him. Tries to get the handball out. Now they're away. Could have been tackled without it. But it's gone over the boundary line. Ball to be thrown in, this time about 70 metres out. I wouldn't say
a nervy start, but it hasn't been a very clean start.
A lot of numbers around the ball, isn't there?
Trying to keep it tight and close, Bunbury, early on. Don't want to get blown away. They know what they have to do to get a result here today. It's back with HBL as they work the ball to forward 50 again. Pack forms, lots of numbers around the ball. A little bit of push and shove, like to see that. Not too much. Good boys, stand up for yourselves. And it'll be balled up right at forward 50. Left half forward for HBL. 5 in front of the ball, but lots of numbers around the ball. So the ruckman goes up and did pretty well there. The ruckman from HBL wins it down through Bunbury. They're able to get some meterage here. Get down low. Well done. Keep feeding the ball forward. Good tackle there by HBL. Gets the feedback. It was holding the ball. It was a great tackle made by HBL. So they turn the ball over again. Lots of numbers, fall back inside forward 50. Here's a go. Nice ball to half forward. Through the hands there of the HBL player. Looking to take some meterage. Soccer off the ground still. Just inside forward 50 for HBL. Can't get their hand on the ball and they'll work it across the line, Bunbury. So crisis averted there, but it is deep inside HBL's forward 50 again.
Yeah, real nervous attempt on mark, wasn't it? I think it was Fairweather down forward. So nice look at it. Manuel looks dangerous down there as well. Ball thrown in. Edwards gets front position. Knocks it back towards the boundary. Still plenty of numbers around the footy. Ball spilling out. They have the numbers out here, Bumbry. It spills out towards Priest. Gets the handball away. A little bit of shake and bake on the far side of the ground, but as he's about to kick it, it's smothered there by Morris. And it goes out of bounds. 60 metres out from HBL's goal. Only the 1 point scored, 5 minutes in. And most of the play on the far side of the ground. Early stages of this first quarter.
I think you've got to get the ball to this side of the ground. That's the most attacking spot. So back into play and through Bunbury hands, they're able to work some meterage. get it to outside their defensive 50, and then it's held up again. So both teams defensively doing really well to stop any real traction. There's been no free play yet in this Colts Grand Final, thanks to getcareers.com.au. One down again. Here's Bunbury. Their first foray past halfway. Goes to right half forward. Worked under the ball was the Bumbry forward. Working back is HBL. They're able to get their hands to it. Not to numbers there for Bumbry. Oakley poaches one of those. Again, the pack forms, but Bunbury's able to get some good meterage here. They're just at centre wing. Far side, hands oval. It is 1 point to nothing at this stage. One down by Edwards. Good tap. Forward again. This is Bunbury's little look inside forward 50. Coughed it up though. It's with HBL on the burn turnover again to half forward. Pack forms. Hands to it. No, can't get to it. Gets out the back through HBL. Some run here coming from Kalani Downs. Inside half forward. Just inside forward 50 for HBL. Going back to find it was the Bunbury defender. Works it to the boundary line. Again, crisis averted.
So ball to be thrown in 35 metres out. And Bunbury wouldn't be too unhappy with this. But they need to get a score. They've only been past halfway, as you said, Chase, a couple of times the opening stage of this first quarter. And this favours Fairweather. Knocks the ball straight to Scott, pops it onto his right boot, goes into the middle of the ground. But the Lions take the relieving mark right in the middle of the ground. They're going to drive it forward once again. They've got the numbers out wide. One of them's Manuel. Calls his player in. And that's Panetta. And Panetta will have the opening shot on goal. Well, a decent look at goal. It's going to kick from 50. No breeze to speak of. He's not wasting any time. Caden Panetta. In he comes now. Plays on. Gains to get a bit of meterage. Goes to the top of the square. A mark's been paid there. And it's Downs, I think, has taken the mark in the goal square. They had the numbers back. They were all playing in front.
Is it Manuel? Annual? Number 5?
Number 5 is Manuel. Been prominent early, and he makes no mistake from the goal square. So the opening goal of the Colts Grand Final for 2025 goes the way of the Lions, courtesy of John Manuel with a strong mark in the goal square. So apologies to Kalani Downs, but Manuel, he's been prominent up there, got his hands on the footy every time they've gone inside 50. Strong mark and made no mistake from 10 metres out.
We're just starting to see the power of HBL just a little bit early. I mean, Bumbry have done a good job to stand the flow and keep the ball closed down, but certainly on the turnover, HBL just for the moment have looked a little bit more dangerous. A couple of good repeat entries, a couple of good looks at goal. So 7 points the better at the moment, thanks to recycling made easy, cashforcans.com.au. Back in the middle of the ground. Let's see if Bunbury can respond. They need to get one on the board, get some scoreboard pressure. Rucks go up. It was Rodney Joseph wins it down again with HBL, but a nice tap forward for Bunbury. Can it get over the head? Got to half forward now. Claimed straight away was that player. Great tackle there by Cruz McKay. Still getting out of there. It's now with Bunbury. It's been holding the ball. It's going the way of Bunbury. It's with Stenhouse. This is Riley Stenhouse. Surveys his options. Lots of numbers getting back for HBL. So he's got to be precise. Kick was pretty good. Went through 2 sets of hands. I don't know who it was intended for, but it's ended up with the Bunbury player in Ben Cherry, who will have the first legitimate look at goals for Bunbury. And it would be very, very handy for them to get one on the board. So he'll kick from right on 50. We'll see if he can travel the distance. Gets pretty good purchase on it. Holding its line. It's there! Great goal, Ben Cherry. Answers straight away for Bunbury.
Terrific kick from Cherry from outside 50. Nearly a cut off there by his own player in Lamont. Cherry took the chest mark. It resulted from a terrific tackle in the middle of the ground as well. Made no mistake. Harvey Brunswick had the numbers back deep in the goal square. Went short, and Cherry made no mistake from 50. So the Bulldogs get their first goal of the game. They're 1 goal straight 6, 1-1-7, so 1 point the margin. 10 minutes gone in this first quarter.
It's a good settler for Bunbury.
So ball back in the middle of the ground. It'll be Edwards up against Joseph. Edwards has done well. Joseph doesn't go up, wins it down, comes straight towards Brook. Couldn't get his kick away, comes back to Edwards.
It's a throw.
And he's been called for a throw, and it's Joseph who'll take the free kick. Goes short with a worm burner, and that's a terrific kick. And he finds Manuel, the goal kicker, plays on now, drives it deep inside 50. They have the numbers there, could have spoilt their own player.
He did.
In they come. Now Bumbry have the numbers, under pressure, spills out towards Fairweather, snap on goal, and it goes through for a minor score. So not a lot of talking out there. Everyone wants to get a piece of the ball, but they responded quick. Terrific tackle in the middle of the ground from their ruckman in Joseph. Playing on straight away out of the goal square. It's going to come wide. He'll look for Walker. And Walker, it's across the boundary line. It goes out of bounds on the full, and HBL will take the relieving free kick.
So this man, Manuel, we've called his name a lot. He's been a big figure in this game. Pumps it back inside forward 50, pack forms. The Bunbury defender had good position, but it fell to the arms of HBL. Loses his footing by hand now with HBL, the player there in Lease. Got claimed straight away. So again, deep inside HBL's territory. The ruckman get there. So the Bunbury ruckman, Edwards, one down. Now into the arms there of Lamotte. It was called play on. So he had to get a kick quick away. It was Manuel. Tackled by 3 from Bumbry there, so pressure for him. It looks as though one of the Bunbury players, it is the ruck, is nursing his arm a little bit, so we'll watch that. Maybe a bit of a stinger. Jumps up again, just inside forward 50 for HBL. Manuel again wins the ball down, but Bunbury able to claim it. Getting in there is Wentworth. Back by hand to Rodney Joseph, the ruckman, puts it to the top of the square. Good looking ball! Marked there by HBL at the top of the square. This is with Flanagan. Directly in front, 25 metres out. Good job there by the ruckman. Comes off for his first spell. Putting that ball back inside forward 50 into dangerous territory. Flanagan on the runway. A little bit nervy, but nurses it home. And HBL get the quick response, Weaver.
Terrific mark. Terrific kick from Joseph. He got a fair purchase on that ball. Sat out the back as the opposing ruckman come out to him, put it to the top of the square and playing in front. And Flanagan made no mistake from 20 metres out. So goal for goal. A little bit nervy the first 7 or 8 minutes of this game. Understandable for any grand final you play in. They've settled a little bit here. They set up well behind the ball, Harvey Brunswick. Yeah. They get the numbers back. And it's going to be real tough for Bunbury to actually cut through that defence and those numbers going forward.
They're going to have to change their method a little bit, Bunbury. They've hacked the ball out a lot, and HBL are setting up with their +1 behind the ball pretty well. So they're going to have to work it out, chain it out a little bit more, run and carry the ball back in the middle of the ground. Up there, one down by HBL. The big knock forward by the second ruck. Goes back inside, half forward here for HBL. Westworth getting his way through there. Cleared by the Bunbury defender. This is to a one-on-one centre wing far side. One down there by McKay, who puts it back forward as off the outside of the boot. So it's working its way to the boundary line. Centre wing far side here at Hands Oval. In the Colts Grand Final for Recycling Made Easy, cashforcans.com.au and getcareers.com.au as well. Sees on the scoreboard. HBL 2-2-14 to Bunbury, 1 straight goal, 6. We have travelled 14 minutes in this first quarter. Ball back into play. One down there by Edwards, the big knock forward. Looking to take some territory, but HBL come forward in numbers. They kick back forward. They've got a player all on their own here at half forward. So they've got a 2v1, able to work it out. Left footer straight out back into forward 50 for HBL. Worked off the ball there pretty well, did the Bunbury defender, but it's one down by HBL again, who turn up in number. Handball works its way forward. They've got a big out number here. Kick forward to the top of the square, but it's all Bunbury. If they can work their way through, it was a little bit nervy, but he got a kick away. Did that player in Brook and gets it to Morris now. He'll be able to just calm things down a little bit for Bunbury. They need to get to quarter time here without too much damage on the scoreboard. Did well there, the player in Dylan Scott, but it's outnumbered again. HBL are turning up. If that's not a free kick one way or the other, it wasn't. It gets worked out here by the player in Lease. Gets up, finds his way, but then working his way back there was the Bunbury player in Stenhouse.
So Stenhouse, he'll go to the middle of the ground. Looks forward for Pedrocchi. Works his way in front, spills out the back. They have the numbers. One of them's Bellini. In comes Perry, drives it onto his boot, but he's smothered there by Warren. Still in the middle of the ground. Working hard now. They have the numbers still, Bunbury, trying to get it out to Bellini. Umpires letting the play go on. Player injured down in front of the Harvey Brunswick interchange box. I think it might be Dylan Scott, just looking at the boots there. Might have got a head knock in that contest. We'll keep an eye on that one. The ball to be thrown up just outside 50, Bunbury's end. Harvey Brunswick at the moment are really ramping up the pressure.
So they're one short at the moment, Bumbry. So they'll need to work this out. Still hasn't moved off the ground.
So it spills out the back. Now it comes over through Jackson Dewar. Puts his teammate under pressure. That's a terrific tackle by Brooke. Wins the free kick in the middle of the ground. It goes wide. Now the umpire's going to hold up play, as it is Dylan Scott. He's going to make his way off the ground. Unassisted, which is a good thing.
He doesn't look too happy, though.
Let's see how that one progresses. He's a terrific player. Played a great game last week. As the ball's in the middle of the ground. The free kick was awarded to...
It was a great tackle there. And the 19 from HBL nearly had his arm removed, Robert Lease. So Bunbury split the ball sideways into the arms of Crowley. That left half back worked straight up the middle. Not a bad looking kick. Put his teammate under pressure, but he was good enough for it. That was Teresi. So Teresi, right in the centre of hands oval, surveys his options forward. HBL have got lots of numbers back, and it has to be said, not a lot of movement by Bunbury. He's gone to the 2v1. The big punch there from Fremantle. Gets the ball forward. There's all numbers here for HBL. Getting his way through was the player in McKay. Puts it back inside forward. 50. Good mark. Manuel can't mark. Hits the ground. Wasn't Manuel. It was that player in Flanagan again. And a free kick's been found. Which way is it going to go? It's going the way of Bunbury. So through Crowley, they'll shift the ball to the outer side of hands oval. A lot of the game's been played out there. Dropped there by Poacher. So has to go back and find it. But HBL turn the ball over, turn it into a scrap once again. They've done this a lot in the first quarter. On the Burns, the player from HBL gets out of the pack. Shot on goal, near side. That's another shot. That's 3 in a row. Shots on goal for HBL.
So it's pressure in numbers, isn't it? I mean, they just got the numbers around the ball, and that was a mistake that put his teammate under pressure. Mark taken by Walker. Comes down looking for McGuinness. Cuts across in front of him was Fremantle. Spills out to Bonetta. Puts it in board. But Kalani Hill takes a relieving mark just inside defensive 50 for the Bulldogs. He's going to have to drive the ball long. Doesn't get a lot of purchase on that. Edwards in front. He's spoilt. It spills over the back towards Lordy. Then it comes out towards Lamonti. He's tackled. Umpire says no prior. Terrific tackle there by Panetta. Ball to be thrown up. Just forward to centre, right in front of the members. Joseph to do the ruck work. Uses his big frame, gets in front, spills out to Fremantle, tries to burst away. Comes to Downs. Downs has been called to play on advantage. Drives the ball long, not the best looking kick, but the mark's been taken. And it's Manuel. What a first quarter of footy this young fella's having. And he'll have a shot on goal from 40 metres out. Tight angle, going for his second of the quarter. Been fantastic up there. That was a terrific mark by Manuel. Not the best kick coming in. He crosses 50 now. Deliberate shot on goal. Away it goes. Will it come back? I don't think it's going to come back enough, and it goes through for a minor score.
He's having some impact on this game. So through Bunbury, they try and clear again. They haven't had much luck the last few times. This one, they do get some meterage. Clear at defensive 50, but it will be a ball in. So a boundary throw in here, just outside defensive 50 for Bunbury. Still, HBL, plenty of numbers behind the ball, so they're going to have to work their way through these Bunbury. They're going to have to change something up, so it works down to the player in heel. Back by hands, again, Bunbury, but the turn-up's better from HBL, so they're back in. It gets cleared, but again, all these numbers from HBL, they were able to clear, work their way forward there through McKay, who's had a pretty good quarter as well from at half-back. Works to the ground to our man, Manuel, gets around one, shot on goal! Pushes it across the face again. This man could just about shut the door himself on Bunbury if they don't do something about his impact on this game.
So a couple of let-offs. Manuel's missed a couple, but geez, he's been on fire in the opening 20 minutes. And for all the play that Harvey Brunswick have had, Bunbury only find themselves 11 points down. Ball's brought back in. They found some space through Osurno. Nelly runs himself into trouble. Now he'll go on the far side of the ground. Front on contact.
He's paid the mark.
The mark's been paid. Is that Britton on the far side of the ground? No, it's Zeke Walker. So centre wing, 1 goal straight Bunbury, 2 goals, 5-17 HBL. Couple of let-offs. But they're going to really have to keep an eye on Manuel as Walker drives the ball long, gets a fair purchase of it as well. Oh, it's a terrific mark in the middle of the ground by Lucas Pedrocchi. Terrific hands. Oh. Then he kicks into the man on the mark, lets himself down, but they have front numbers. Bumbry, ball's put on the left boot. Will it carry? It does, and it hits the chest of Chevy Morris. Morris has got a player short. He uses that option, finds him, and a shot on goal. Deep into the first quarter, 30 metres out, will be taken by Tex McGuinness. Geez, there's some really good names playing out there today, and this is another one. So Tex McGuinness, 30 metres out, 45-degree angle. It shapes a little bit, but it's gone through the middle, and Bunbury get one back. So they've made the most of their opportunities going forward. They're 2 goals straight. 2 goals, 5-17, 5 points the lead, 21.5 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Yeah, as Weaver said, for all the dominance that HBL have said after Bunbury's first goal, they had the next 5 scoring shots, but not quite putting them on the board, and then Bunbury put one straight back. They've looked pretty dangerous when they've got inside forward 50. It was a little bit of a scrubby ball at half forward after Pedrocchi's kick, but they found their way in there.
Well, they just got to get it in quick, don't they,
Yeah,
Chase? Otherwise, Harvey Brunswick will get the numbers back and they'll just fill up all those holes.
Playing through these numbers. So back in the middle of the ground, we've travelled 22.5 minutes here in the first quarter for Recycling Made Easy. Cashforcans.com.au. It's a great Colts grand final. As the players go up, one there by Edwards forward for Bunbury, but working it out is HBL. Gets a handball over the top to himself. Does that player from HBL? It was Panetta. Back to half forward into the arms there of Falloon, who works back on it. Gets a handball inside to Manuel. Gets tackled straight away across the line, but again, it's inside forward 50 for HBL. As we close in on quarter time, Bunbury need to close this down. They can't let another score through, one thinks, just to make sure that they go in at quarter time and they're within striking distance. They have taken their opportunities forward of centre. They'll need quarter time to regroup, but it's in HBL's forward line, falls to the ground, clears the ruckman. One back by the Bunbury defender. Could have been a pushing it back, wasn't given. Pack forms. It's that right half forward for HBL. They'll have a ball up. And still HBL holding 1-2 behind the ball. Doing really well to hold their structure. Bunbury looking to close things up, putting the pressure on there was Brook for Bunbury. Claims his counterpart Falloon straight away. Again, the ruckmen go at it. Joseph Edwards. Joseph tries to protect the drop zone, gets a little top over the stop, back with Edwards, little handball. Claims straight away there. Good tackle by Diwa. Ruckman nominate again. Joseph gets hands to it, just gets it forward for Bunbury. Pack forms again. Gets out, cleared out now, all Bunbury. Through the player there in Heel. Clears the ball, but HBL's numbers behind the ball. The player there in Harper. It's his first look at it, pumps it back inside forward 50. Pack forms, got hands to it. Did that player that kicked the ball in Harper. Claimed straight away, but wasn't able to claim it. Sorry, Heel. Got good hands to it. So travelled 24.5 minutes here, closing in on quarter time. Pacific Seeds reliable canola, that's Reggie. Ball falls down, one there by HBL. Good work by the player. Shot on goal, gets to the top of the square, off hands, off feet. It goes through for another behind to HBL.
A terrific spoil there from Crowley. Geez, Joseph gets a lot of purchase on the ball off one step, and that's been a terrific duel in the ruck, him and Edwards. Edwards has won it in the air, but Joseph's doing a lot of work around the ground. But that spoil from Crowley, that was terrific. Right at the top of the goal square. And he's going to reset now, bring the ball back in, runs out of the square, has a bounce. He'll go long towards the boundary right in front of the members. Over the top comes Rowan Hahn and spoils the ball out of bounds. So just gone 25 minutes in the opening quarter. 6 points the margin, 2 goals, 6 the lines. 2 goals neat, the Bulldogs. Ball to be thrown in, 80 metres out from HBL's goal. This is going to land short, favours Edwards. He gets front position, couldn't pick the ball up. Then it's just chucked onto the boot towards Benjamin Cherry. Now they have the numbers. One of them is Cruz McCaw getting his hands on the ball. Up they go. Nelly Mark taken, spills out towards Fremantle. Gets around one. Handballs towards Bell. He'll have a shot on goal from 50. Is it going to carry the journey? Touch right on the line. Once again,
good hands
from Crowley. 2 terrific spoils right on the goal line and through for a minor score. Doing a power of work down there is Evan Crowley for the Bulldogs. Saved 2 certain goals as we've just ticked over 26 minutes in the opening quarter. 2 goals, 7, HBL 19, 2 goals straight Bunbury. Ball brought back in by Crowley. He'll go short. And still inside defensive 50. The mark is taken there by the Bulldogs.
So this is testing for these players. They play fixed time through all the year, and then it's time on in grand finals. So a little bit longer. So Bunbury having to hold on here. They'd love to get another one before quarter time. Here's a good ball into the middle of the ground. Dropped there by the player in Edwards, the big ruckman, but able to find it. Got some numbers running out on front. Got a player working for him. Shotgun to the top of forward 50. It's Chevy Morris. Gets the fill further across. It's into the goal square now. Working back is Tex. He got a hand to it, but he kicked it away from the goal. Got a foot to it. It was right there. Tex McGuinness, not one for the records, that one. It was right on the goal line. A fresh airy first up and then the secondary shot straight into the bunker. So it'll be a boundary throw in just around from Bunbury's goal. Deep in Q1 here in the South West Football League Colts Grand Final for cashforcans.com.au. And that is the siren. That would have been very handy. We'll talk about that after the break. But it is the South West Football League Colts Grand Final sees HBL 2 goals, 7, 19. Really inaccurate to Bunbury. 2 goals straight, 12 as we bring you this Grand Final for Recycling Made Easy, cashforcans.com.au, getcareers.com.au and Pacific Seeds. We'll be back after a break to dissect that first quarter. You're on SEN. Of the South West Football League Grand Final for the Colts for 2025, thanks to Pacific Seeds Reliable Canola. That's Reggie. Some better players there for Bumbry, who, if not for an unfortunate chip shot in the goal square, could be a lot closer, Weaver.
A little bit of a mishap there towards the end of that first quarter, but I thought Crowley was fantastic at fullback. Made a couple of real goal-saving spoils late on in that quarter. Edwards, really good in the ruck. Cherry and Morris for me for Bunbury.
It's been, we've spoken a lot about Manuel, number 5 for HBL, been outstanding best player on the ground at the moment. Rodney Joseph in the rucks, been pretty handy as well. And Cruz McKay down back has cleared things up nicely for HBL every time Bunbury have threatened. So, as we said, it's 2 goals, 7-19 to Harvey Brunswick, Leschenault to Bunbury. 2 goals straight, 12 who have taken their limited opportunities. So, it'll be interesting to see after the quarter time break what adjustments perhaps Bunbury make in terms of holding some more numbers ahead of the ball to give themselves an even chance as we get back into quarter 2 action here on South West Football League Grand Final Day.
A ruckman go up. Edwards wins it down once again for the Bulldogs. Spills out there towards Downs. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. Terrific duel, Joseph and Edwards. Joseph this time gets front position, wins it down towards Downs. Brooks in there. Stacks on the mill. Umpire letting it go. Trying to work the ball out is Brook. And he's tackled by Panetta. Umpire will do it all over again. So 7 points the margin. Edwards wins it back on the second knock. Spills out one of his teammates. Terrific spoil by Quinton Bell. And now they're out on the far side of the ground. Diving mark taken by the ruckman for HBL in Joseph. He goes wider and finds Bell. Bell's about 2 kicks out from goal. Starting to work his way into the game. The skipper for the Lions drives it long. Looking for Flanagan. Comes over the top. Takes a terrific mark.
No,
it's gone out of bounds to the full. Jeez, that must have been close. He done well there, Flanagan. The ball's brought back into play.
Yeah, it would have been mark of the day for cashforcans.com.au. Not to be with Bumbry to the outer side. Got a player all on his own there. Left half back. nearer the boundary side. They got better numbers ahead of the ball here, Bumbry. The only one back is the ruckman, but he's with Edwards, who rises now, but it was a player from HBL who got front position, takes the saving mark. So centre wing far side here at Hands Oval. Motions that he's going to go long, so it sends it back from whence it came. Forming is the player in Bunbury, got good hands to it. That's Walker, centre half back, and also the leading goal scorer, so go figure for Bunbury this year. So Zeke Walker here. Again, just going to play a bit of tennis, puts it back over the net. Exactly where it came from again. It was almost carbon copy, but fell down to Hands. It's now right in the middle of Hands Oval, working his way through there. Was a player in Lease. Puts it back from where it came again. Flying over the top was a HBL player. Wasn't really realistic, but nothing given. Nice push in the back there from the full forward from HBL, who's had a bit of influence on this game, Flanagan, but it can't fall for him. Bumbry get back in numbers. Clear out. It's now again with Flanagan. Gets around one, slipped over. Should either be holding the ball. It is. Unfortunately, couldn't get purchase on the ground, so Bunbury going to clear again.
So that was Sable, and it made that terrific tackle. He looked down looking for Lordy, puts himself under pressure. In comes McGuinness. And the boundary line wins, and it'll be thrown in right on 50. Just slipped over at the inopportune time there. HBL, they had the numbers, but Sable and laid a terrific tackle, and ball will be thrown in. Right on the forward 50, HBL's in. Edwards gets front position, wins it down uncontested. Panetta's there. It's his player out of the way. In comes McGuinness. They have the numbers. The handball comes back out towards Harper. He drives the ball long inside 50. Players go up. Spills out. Now Bunbury have the numbers through Teresi. He's tackled as he's about to kick it. In comes Sable, and once again rushed over the boundary line. That was Sable and that was Lorty. And the umpire will throw the ball in once again after 3 or 4 possessions, right on 50, HBL's way.
I feel like a Saborn in a Bunbury jumper is not quite right, but...
That's what I thought. I thought it was synonymous with
Harvey Brunswick. Very synonymous. So this is a ball up just outside forward 50. Rodney Joseph held out his opposition ruckman, but it fell down into the arms there of Panetta. Gets around one, puts it to the top of the goal square. Good Bunbury defender working back, who's done a pretty good job today. It's Zeke Walker. Takes the relieving mark. He'll look to clear outside 50 if he goes quickly. He's got numbers working away from him. This will be a 3v2 the way of Bunbury if they can get it to ground, but they can't. Good mark taken there by HBL. Orange Boots will have to get his number. Pumps it back to the top of the square. Vacant behind. Getting hands to it there was Kishorn. It's a snap around his body. It's to the far side. He's had a couple of good little looks. Kishorn Stack. He's had a couple of nice little moments, but first score for this quarter goes the way again of HBL.
So it was nearly an uncontested mark. The pack went under and it just got on him a little bit quick there at Stack. As Crowley will bring the ball back in. He's got a player short, and that Stenhouse takes the mark still inside defensive 50. He goes short and finds that man in Saborn. Has a player short, it holds up in the air, and Edwards. So just working it through. Has Brooks short, decides to go longer than that, goes up right in front of the commentary box. Over the top, that's a terrific mark by Ucino.
That is lovely.
Playing on straight away, goes in the middle of the ground. That's Stenhouse, gets a handball over to McGuinness. Had a little bit of a mishap in the first quarter. Can he make up for it? In comes Perry. Now they have the numbers, that's HBL. In front there was Benjamin Cherry. Wins it out, straight to HBL. Far side of the ground now. Bunbury have the numbers. In comes McGuinness. Smucking around on the far side, and they tie the ball up 70 metres out from Bunbury's goal.
Jeez, that was a nice mark there by Ursino. Beauty. I don't know if they made enough of it, though. A little bit nervy. Tex McGuinness at ground level. He shouldn't be. He's pretty close to it. Back at left half forward. It's McGuinness again. Puts a bit of pressure on. Won by HBL. They've been pretty good at half back. Split it to the near side. With this player here in Turner. Buster Turner gets it in the middle of the ground. The Bunbury defender's going to have to come forward. Does a pretty good job. Get his way through there. Was the player in Morris. Gets it a half forward. It's still at centre half forward for HBL, but Bunbury have got the numbers, but there's a free kick being found. Going to go the way of HBL. So, number 15, Falloon, into half forward. Pretty good kick. And Stack makes no mistake this time. Takes a good mark low to the ground, directly in front. So pretty good ball in. Bit of push and shove after the fact. So umpire's keeping an eye on that. But the ball is with the man that matters at the moment, Kishorn Stack. Had a couple of nice moments and starting to exert some influence on this game. Like the way he's moved. So the scoreboard reads 2-8-20 to HBL's, 2 straight to Bunbury, 2 straight 12. Cook on the runway, nurses at home. Puts it straight through the middle for recycling made easy. Cashforcans.com.au. Another goal for HBL.
Well, they should have done a little bit better there, Bumbry. A little bit tie up from the free kick paid in the middle of the ground. They didn't get the numbers back. And Stack, he's got some serious wheels, found some space, and that lead was on it, and he made no mistake from 30 metres out. So that margin now is out to 14 points. 3 goals, 8, 26. 2 goals straight, 12, Bunbury. And as you said, Chase, they should have made a little bit more of that terrific mark from Usina. They had the numbers pushing
They've
back.
actually had much better looks, and they've just got to take a little bit more care with that last kick inside forward 50 and make sure they're controlling the ground ball. So they're not without their opportunities here, but they do need to take them because HBL are starting to look very ominous when they go inside forward 50.
They are getting a little bit nervous around centre half forward. The ball back in the middle of the ground. This time, Pedrocki's in the ruck up against Joseph. It spills down there to Riley Priest. Handball comes out from a tackle. DeWeer's there, but he's wrapped up straight away by Chevy Morris. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. 3 goals, 8, 26. 2 goals straight, 12. 14 points the margin. 7.5 minutes gone in the second quarter. Spills out towards Brook, but he knocks it straight towards McKay. Wrapped up straight away.
So the pressure's still been good from Bunbury. It's just on the burn, so they've got to make better use of it going forward. See if they can get something going here. Pedrocchi works from out. Rodney Joseph holds him off, falls to ground again. One back by HBL. The back feed's been pretty good. Kicking that ball forward was Priest. Puts it to half forward. Kashawn Stack finds the ball again on the ground. Gives a nice release. Handball. Crosses through forward 50. Good looking ball inside forward 50. Well defended there by Bumbry. But working their way through again is HBL. They put a high ball to the top of 50. Getting hands to it there was the player in Crowley. But it gets to the back of the pack and gets put through by HBL off the ground by guess who? And well, for his second goal today. Could have been a handful. 2 goals, 3 he's kicked. Having a big impact on this game.
Kashawn Stack's just starting to work his way into the ground. As we said, he's got serious wheels. Unselfishly gave the handball off and then put it in front of Manuel, and he made no mistake from the top of the goal square. So they're just starting to flex their muscle now, the Lions. 20 points the margin, 4 goals, 8, 32. 2 goals straight, 12. And Manuel is having the game of his life so far. 2 goals, 9.5 minutes gone in the second quarter.
So in the first quarter, Bunbury were able to respond after the first couple of shots by HBL. They're going to have to do so again here.
So this time it's Cherry in the ruck up against Joseph. He's rucked all day. It spills back out towards Panetta. Slips over right at the inopportune time. Tackled by Perry. It spills back into the back of the pack in Stenhouse. Tries to get onto his left boot. It comes back to him. Now he gets a handball over to Brook. Drives the ball long and they're inside 50. But it's cut off by Harper. Terrific overhead mark. Drives the ball long. Far side of the ground. He has Downs out there. Bunbury have the numbers on the far side of the ground. Now Harvey Brunswick come in. Put some pressure on. They do well to tie this ball up. And they have done. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Centre wing, far side of the ground, 20 points the margin. 10 minutes gone in this second quarter. So Stenhouse, not sure how much rucking he's done, but Joseph gets front position, wins the ball down, just chucks it onto his boot. They have the numbers once again. Gets rid of Dwyer, I think it was, or Perry with ease. And a free kick's been paid in the middle of the ground to the Lions. He's going to switch play, come right across towards Panetta, who's found some space, and they can't afford to give him space. Handball off towards McKay, goes onto his left boot. Terrific looking kick, and he finds Fairweather. Looking for a lead. He's right on 50. Lewis Fairweather, another big tall option down forward for the Lions. He's going to kick from 50 metres out, 45-degree angle. In he comes now. It's going to land at the top of the square. He's got a fair purchase on that. Players gather. They have the numbers out the back. One of them is Morris. Should clear for the Bulldogs. Does so and finds McGuinness just outside 50.
And he'll get the clearing ball to the outer side. It's 2v the way of Bunbury. Good shepherd given. Allows that player to work it to left half forward. High ball in. And they fight. It's 1v1. And Pedrocchi's in there putting the pressure on. Great pressure there. Gets the ball up at left half forward for Bunbury. So well worked there by Bunbury. The first time on the move. They've looked consistent in this quarter. Ball up again. Hayden over the top there was the Bunbury ruckman. Doing it that time was Cherry. Gets to half forward, working the way back. High ball dropped there by Stenhouse, who works the ball across the line. Be a boundary throw-in. Centre wing far side here on a hands oval that is bathed in sunshine for this SWF Football League Grand Final day. It is Colts action thanks to Recycling Made Easy. Cashforcans.com.au and getcareers.com.au, bringing you this Colts action on this Saturday morning in Bunbury. Back into play. Joseph works his player under the ball. He keeps getting away with it. And the ball's fallen to the ground. Claimed straight away. Pressure here by Bunbury. They hold the ball in. We've travelled some 12 and a half minutes. It's HBL. 4 goals, 8:32 to Bunbury. 2 goals straight, 12. Yet to go inside forward 50 this quarter. They get the ball out the back. HBL win the ball forward. Quick kick comes through the middle of the ground. Dropped there by the HBL player who goes back and finds it. Of course, he's going to do pretty well because it's Manuel. Puts it into right half forward into the pocket. Working his way through there was the player in Flanagan. Gets across the top to Stack in the goal square. Makes no mistake. And goes and finds some high fives to go with it. Another goal for HBL. Another goal for Kashawn Stack.
What a terrific second effort in the middle of the ground there by Manuel. Dropped the mark he would have taken in the first quarter. Recovered. Got the ball long. An unselfish play by Flanagan. Handball over to Stack and made a certain goal from the top of the goal square. So Stack's got 2 in this second quarter, and this margin's now out to 26 points. They're just falling down at centre half forward Bunbury. They need to do something about that or try and work the ball in with short passes, but every time it goes forward now, they just look dangerous, and now they're starting to put the majors on the board, the Lions.
Yeah, they've flexed their muscle here. 4 unanswered on the board. So back in the middle of the ground, getting up is Cherry, wins it forward, tapped back by HBL. The feedback by him's been good through Duwa. Gets around, puts it to half forward again. Working their way out is Manuel. Just watch for him to do something. He snuck forward, but it couldn't get there. It gets to the ground, still centre wing here at Hands Oval. Bunbury able to trying to do the clean-up job. Can't do so yet. Claimed straight away was the Bunbury player. It's gone across the boundary line. Centre wing far side here at Hands Oval. It is all HBL in this second quarter. Can Bunbury find the answering goal they need or just get their hands on the ball and hold it for a period of time to get things back on their terms? HBL showing us why they've gone through the season undefeated. They're able to clear this one again through. They'll get it to true centre half forward. It's Stack who gets the ball to ground. He's got 2 to get rid of. Taps it over the top. Wins them. Gets a forward handball. Here's another look inside forward 50 for HBL. Not a great looking ball through the hands of the Bunbury defender. Getting around one was the player there in Turner. Buster Turner puts it to the top of the goal square. Marked by Flanagan. Could have let it go through for a goal, but needs to make sure of it. That is very, very lazy. He's tried to play on quickly and the Bunbury defender was alert to it. I better make sure it was Flanagan, otherwise I've called that completely wrong. And a 50-metre penalty's been found. So a little bit untidy from HBL when they really didn't need to be. Such in control of this game.
We could see what he was trying to do there. We could have let it go through, but wanted to make sure of the goal. And in the end, well, there's been 2 little mishaps there from both sides in the opening half.
It's that goal mouth. There's something to do with that goal mouth.
As Walker drives the ball on the far side of the ground, but it's cut off there by Fremantle. He's wrapped up, and the Bulldogs will win the ball back. They have a player in the middle of the ground. That is Usuna, who took a terrific mark right in front of the commentary box. He's going to go back to where it come from and finds his teammate on the far side of the ground. Handball into Perry. He'll drive the ball long. Not the best looking kick. Edwards is down there, but he's nudged out of it, and the mark is taken by Fremantle and deep in defence. He goes wide.
This is Bo Fremantle.
And this is Bo Fremantle. So just outside defensive 50. Called to play on. He goes long. Gets a fair purchase. Looking for Stack. Why wouldn't you? Kicked a couple of goals in this quarter. It comes back to him. Gets a handball out. They have the numbers. Bumbry come in with the tackle. Umpire lets it go. And now the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. 75 metres out from HBL's goals.
So Bunbury need to respond here. 16 minutes gone. Second quarter action, Southwest Football League Grand Final. Thanks for cashforcans.com.au. 1 forward again by HBL. They're getting out the front pretty well. Underground handball, inside forward 50. Wobbly ball to centre half forward. Sitting himself there was the ruckman in Rodney Joseph, and he can't take the mark. It's worked across the line. This is another scoring opportunity for HBL. They've had 6 on the bounce. So Bunbury to do the clearing job again. They need to get some connection through centre half forward. Player working on his own here is Ursino, having to travel a bit further up the ground to find his ball. He works it further to Saborn. The blonde locks. Looks down the line, surveying his options. A little pokey ball across the top, wasn't great. Looked really nervy. Picked off by Lease. He's going to pump it back inside forward 50 again. Not a great looking ball. Falls into the arms of that defender who's been pretty good. I thought it was a mark. That was Heel, not to be. Clearing ball by HBL. Lease worked his player again under the ball. Takes a relieving mark, and he'll do the same again. Gets a little bit more purchase on it. Rodney Joseph sets himself. Can't get hands to it. Falls to ground here for Bunbury. They'll be looking for a ball up, but HBL looking to keep the ball alive. One there by Bunbury. Gets a little kick out. One down into the arms of Duwa. Gets around one. Looks for a handball. It wasn't very good. Works through for a Bunbury. Get a little scrappy ball forward. HBL, if they can win this ball, McGuinness gets put on his old derriere to the outside here with HBL. Gets around one. Does the player in Bell, the captain, been very good today. Gets it through to the player there in Zeke Walker, who was claimed straight away. It was a great tackle by the HBL forward. Puts good pressure on there. Zeke was coming at a number of rate of knots, and it's Manuel. He is having a profound impact on this game.
Well, the game he's having today, he'd like to kick this from here. Not a lot of time there for Walker to get rid of the ball. He's been terrific in this second quarter, but so is this bloke. He's been terrific all game. So John Manuel, he'll kick from 50 metres out. Already got 2 to his name so far. 1 in the first, 1 already in this second quarter. Let's look to increase this margin. It's already at 28 points. In he comes now, just crosses 50. Gets a fair purchase on the ball. Is it going to get there? Is it going to get there? You bet it's going to get there. John Manuel from 50 puts it through, and that's his 3rd for the game. And if he's not best on ground 19 minutes into the second quarter, well, I'm not watching the game we're watching, Chase. That was a terrific kick from a terrific tackle, and 3 goals in the first half of a grand final. What an effort.
Yeah, that is... We are watching something here, perhaps a future star, maybe not just of the Southwest Football League, but further on, certainly having one of those days, and Bunbury really need to get a wriggle on here. 7 unanswered scoring shots, and they need to get the ball forward of centre. We've travelled 20 minutes in this second quarter, so closing in on half-time, and it's getting away from them. 34 points the difference at the moment. It's not unachievable, but it hasn't looked likely so far. So back in the middle of the ground. Ben Cherry doing the ruck work against the player at Fairweather through HBL. They've got the ball forward here, Bunbury. Can they make something of it? Out comes that man, Tex McGuinness. Had a bit of a so-so day, but able to control the ball on that occasion. Gets the ball up. He's made some really good positions. He's trying hard for his team. Again, Cherry over the top, but one down by HBL, who worked the ball forward again to 1v1s everywhere. Working through his heel. Wants to get his hands on the ball, but can't. One by hands. Gets the player there in Lamotte. Still with Bumbry. Back in board. Working back. Supplier for Bumbry in Walker. Out the front again for HBL. Work by hands. Just outside forward 50. Another look for HBL. Work the ball to the inside, but punch forward by Bunbury. Able to clear. Going back and find the ball, though, was the HBL player, so he got claimed straight away. It was McGuinness, I think. So just out on the point of the square. Far side hands oval. Through Bunbury at half forward. Player didn't have the ball. No free kick given. One by Bunbury. Able to work their way through. Looking to run and carry. Splits it to the near side. To the player there in Stenhouse. Gets around one. Beckons his players to come at him. Got a player on the lead. Through hands. Can he go back and find it? Pedrocki missed the tackle. Again, cleared by HBL to the outer side. Driving ball along. Fremantle gives it the old heave-ho to half forward to Manuel. and he just motions to slow things down. He's really controlling this game. Every time it goes near him, he makes something happen. Works the ball to half forward. Here's Priest. So looking to just settle things down a little bit is Priest.
He's had a good second quarter as well, Priest.
He's
been terrific.
Mark this ball right on 50, directly in front. Take a good kick from here. Went to feign the pass off. Watch the pack form. Lots of numbers in the square. So kicks from 55, gets nothing on it. Goes to right half forward. Great pass. Great pass there to Westworth. It's great when a plan comes together.
Well, his last 3 kicks, he hasn't hit him flush out of the middle, but this one might work out all right.
So this is Westworth, another shot on goal for HBL. They've had many this quarter. He's on a very acute action right near the scoreboard pocket here at Hands Oval on this South West Football League Grand Final day. Puts a left foot shot in, goes across the top, rising and getting hands to it was that player who's Flanagan.
He's paid the mark.
Really?
Oh,
Manuel's. My Lord.
Push in there.
He's just got to be near the ball and he's got it. This is something to behold. So Manuel kicked 3 goals, 3 on the day. Goes the check side and bangs it straight through. His 4th goal and goes straight to the Bunbury crowd and says, how you going? For a cycling made easy. Castracans.com.au. Manuel puts his 4th on the board.
So I thought that was Flanagan that come over the top for the mark, but Manuel must have got a push in there, and he's made no mistake.
It was definitely Flanagan that rose and got hands to it, and then there was a free kick underneath found by the umpire.
So 4 goals in an opening half of any grade of football in a grand final is just an outstanding effort. 3 in the second quarter to John Manuel.
4 goals, 3, mind you.
4 goals, 3. He is having a day out, and every time it goes inside the forward 50 of the Lions, he is there somewhere, and he's got 4 goals to his name. So 5 goals to nothing in this second quarter, the way of the Lions, and the margin's out to 40 points. 23 and a half minutes gone in the second quarter. 7 goals, 10, 52. 2 goals straight, 12. The Bulldogs. Stein Fairweather wins the ball down, comes back to the opposing ruckman of the Bulldogs. He just drives it forward. They have the numbers once again. First to it this time is the Bulldogs. But he handballs it straight back to the opposition. In they come now. That's Morris. Takes the player over the boundary line.
Getcareers.com.au. All HBL in this second quarter. Colts action here at Hands Oval. Travelled 24 minutes, so nearing in on half time. Bumbry, some soul searching to do. Pushed out of the ball there was Cherry. Free kick given away by the player Fairweather. So Bunbury desperately need a goal here. To be said, that's for sure. So Perry puts a high ball into full forward. Pedrocchi got his hands to it. And there's been a free kick found. It's going to go the way of Pedrocchi. So he's going to have his shot on goal. He'll kick from just inside forward 50, 45-degree angle. Is that 45? Got it right? My Pythagoras theorem. So Pedrocchi need an answering goal. They need to get something from this Bunbury to give them some hope going into half-time. You're going to have to play outside their skins to get a result here. Good-looking ball. Carries, it was always to the left-hand side. So their first score this quarter after 8 scores on the trot there from HBL. See if they can get a repeat entry closing in on half-time for getcareers.com.au. Colts action here on SEN. HBL, the clearing ball into the arms there of Selick. Some attention given by Petrocchi. It was pretty negligible, but the umpire fell for it. So 50 metres, this is not what they need to be giving away here. So HBL through Selick to left half forward, rising Flanagan. He's had a few good looks today. Finally gets one to stick just outside forward 50 for them. Got a couple of players presenting. Where's Manuel? Just give it to him. Over the top. Got a player working for him. That's a little bit lax there by Bumbry. So they've worked their way a good 20 metres closer to goal. It's fallen into the arms here of Lease, I think. It's not Lease, it's Buster Turner. Turn around, son, play your part. Buster Turner it is. Had a couple of shots on goal. Here's our man Buster.
So Buster Turner, this one won't be marked in the goal square, I can assure you. He's going to kick from 40 metres out. 45-degree angle, comes in now, it's bending back beautifully. And Turner, Buster Turner gets his name on the scoreboard and puts through another one for the Lions in the second quarter. It's 6 goals to 0 to 1 point to Bumbry, so that margin is just ever increasing. 8 goals, 10, 58, 45 points the margin, 27 minutes gone in the second quarter, 2 goals, 1, 13 Bunbury. And they've just got all the answers, and the biggest answer is coming through scoreboard pressure. Manuel with 4-3 in the second, Stack with a couple, and now Turner gets his name on the scoreboard. So that player sat there forever, Turner. Bunbury didn't man him up, and eventually that lead was honoured, and Turner made no mistake from 40 metres out. So ball back in the middle, fair weather goes up, free kick's been paid.
It's going the way of Bumbry. No, HBL.
It's going to go the way of Panetta. He's had a terrific game as well. Has fair weather running for him, and there's the siren.
That is the siren to mark half-time here at Hands Oval. Southwest Football League Grand Final action. That's the Colts game. HBL, 8 goals, 10, 58. 6 goals that quarter to Bunbury. 2 goals, 1, 13. All the work to do. Thanks for getcareers.com.au. That is the first half, and we've got a little bit to dissect here. There's been some great performances on the HBL side. Bunbury with some work to do. We'll see if they can come back and find the answers in this second half as we bring you the Colts Grand Final. For recycling made easy, cashforcans.com.au, getcareers.com.au. It's our West Football League Grand Final day here on SEN. This is the halftime show of the Southwest Football League Grand Final day. It is the Colts action, which sees HBL well in control of this game. 8 goals, 10, 58 to Bunbury. 2 goals, 1, 13. So all the work to do in this second half. And believe it or not, Weaver, there was other players out there other than Manuel. But geez, he's having an impact on this game.
Oh, he's having a day out, isn't he? I mean, he was fantastic in that first quarter. Kicked a couple of behinds, but that quarter he made the most of it. Kicked 3, and 1 from outside 50 was fantastic.
Now, if we work through the goal kickers for HBL, obviously that man, Manuel, he's got 4 goals to his name, 4 goals, 3. So could have had a real day out, but he is so far. Flanagan, who's had plenty of opportunities to fly at the ball, has a goal. 2 for Kashawn Stack, who I thought really started to come into the game in that second quarter. Buster Turner with 1. And on the other side, Tex McGuinness has 1 goal. Could have been 2, but he missed from right on the goal line. And Ben Cherry has a goal as well. He's been pretty good for Bunbury. If we work through the best players, we'll go through Bunbury first because they do have some work to do. But who's been some of their better players?
Oh, look, they're trying hard, but I think Crowley's been outstanding down back. He's been under pressure for the first half of this game. He's done some really good work down there under extreme pressure. I thought Zeke Walker come into his own in that second quarter. Did get a terrific tackle late on him, and Manuel made the most of that, but he's been fantastic. And Ucino started to work his game into the middle and took a terrific mark right in front of us in the second quarter. But geez, other than that, they're really struggling to get some numbers around the ball and get into amongst the game.
I thought they actually started to get some control around the stoppage. They were holding numbers ahead of the ball. They got that under control, but then when they win the ball, they're just really struggling through half forward to keep any sort of connection, to give themselves an opportunity to score.
Well, they can't get it up there quick enough, and that allows Harvey Brunswick to push the numbers back, and it's always a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2. So they need to do better. They're really falling down at centre half forward, but yeah, they are getting their hands on the footy, but once it gets past the centre line, they're really struggling. It comes back with interest, and it's come back with scoreboard pressure in that second quarter.
Yeah, it certainly has. As we work through this half-time for getcareers.com.au, Pacific Seeds Reliable Canola, that's Reggie. For HBL, there's been plenty of winners on the day. We've spoken a lot about Manuel, who's been really good. Their captain has been excellent as well in Quinton Bell. Rodney Joseph's been important in the ruck. Flanagan's come into the game, and we spoke about Kashawn Stack, who's looked really lively when the ball's hit the deck.
Well, he has. He's got some serious wheels, and he pushes up, and he's very unselfish as a key forward, so he was fantastic. I'd like to special mention Dewar was really good in that second quarter as well as Reese, and also Panetta's been handy as well. Never falls over, so always in the game and always in the contest.
If we look through some injuries, so we saw Josh Warren from HBL. He's wrapped up and won't take any further part in this game. Looks to be a hamstring or something like that. But one that's probably hurting Bunbury at the moment is number 7, Dylan Scott, who was having a bit of an impact. He's a bit of a bigger body, and he hasn't returned since he went off the ground early in the first quarter.
No, and it looked innocuous here right in front of us, the head knot, but obviously it's a bit more serious than what it looked from up here. But he's a terrific player, silky left footer, and as you said, Chase, he has got the size, and they're missing that out there today, plus his distance with his left foot kick. So looks like he's not going to return unless something miraculous happens at half time, but they really miss him out in the middle of the ground.
Yeah, they certainly do. Speaking of the middle of the ground, we might go down to a man that is not real smart, but he can lift heavy things, Alan Crane. How's things down at ground level? You've got Charlie with you.
Firstly, thanks for the introduction, Chase. That's a real pleasure. I have got Chase here. We'll be quick because we need to go to a break. But Charlie, magnificent conditions down here.
Yes, this is the complete opposite of last week, and I'm actually glad to be down here for once.
Look, boys, the wind down here, Charlie, it's a bit different to Hands Oval. I think it'll change next day. It's a very minimal, but it's sort of heading towards the city end.
Yeah, well, compared to last week, the wind is almost non-existent because it was a whole new level last week.
Boys, Bunbury got a fair bit of work to do.
What do they got to do, Croney, to get back into this game?
Just continue to work hard, continue to stick to their plan, mate. That's all they can do. And it's pressure, pressure, pressure. That's what the coaches would have been calling on. The Bunbury side are back out on the ground, so we'll go to a quick break and then we'll head back in for the second half.
For Recycling Made Easy, cashforcans.com.au. They need to get things happening early in this third quarter. Be in touch at three-quarter time. It has been all HBL. Ball back in the middle of the ground.
Right, Ruckman go up. Joseph had a little bit of a spell in that second quarter. Wins it down and they're away again. First clearance comes away of the lines. Drives the ball up forward. Manuel has a couple of grabs at it. Terrific first half of footy. In they come. Joseph lays a big tackle there on Walker. Ball still in dispute. Pop down towards the boundary line. They have the numbers here in Lordy. Gets the ball back towards Morris. Goes in the middle of the ground. They got to take some risks. That's one of them. It sits up. Ball tries to come out through Stenhouse. Tries to get the handball over, but he's well tackled in the middle of the ground. And the relieving free kick goes away of the Lions. So first centre 50 goes forward looking for Stack, and he takes the mark. And he'll have the first legitimate shot on goal from right on 50. Kick two in that second quarter. Kishawn Stack got a good set of hands, good size. He'll kick from 50 metres out, 45-degree angle to get HBL underway once again. So in he comes now. Has he got the distance? Has a player short. He's going to go that way, and it's Dewar. Terrific second quarter. Very unselfish is Stack. And Jackson Dewar will take the shot on goal. This time, same angle. A lot closer, 35 metres out. Very lax defence there by the Bulldogs. Just let Dewar run into that open space, thinking Stack was going to put it to the top of the goal square. And Dewar made the most of it. Can he finish off now? Been good in this game so far. Little bit of a stutter, deliberate shot on goal. Umpire moves a little bit, but he doesn't have to do too much. And the opening goal of the second half goes the way of the Lions. And Dewar this time gets himself on the board with a major. 9 goals, 10, 64. 2 goals, 113. 51 points now the margin. 2 minutes gone in the third quarter. So terrific effort there from Stack. Didn't think he had the leg. Dewar run into open space, honoured that lead, and Dewar made no mistake from 35 metres out in a 45-degree angle.
We've been talking about Flanagan for HBL, who's had an outstanding game, and it's not been him the whole way along. It's been Tom Ward. So apologies to Tom Ward, who's had a big impact on this game. But back in the middle again with HBL. They work the ball by hands off the side of the boot there of the player in Fremantle. That was the Ziggy variety. So it's worked to the centre wing. First time we've seen the ball on this side for a while. Again, the back feed by HBL. They'll go forward again. Again, the outside of the boot. Sitting under the ball there was a player from Bumbry, was able to take the mark. And that's the player in Woods. It's a little pokey ball to the middle of the ground. Falls to the ground. One down there by Brook, trying to get his way through. Claimed straight away was Walker. He looks as though he's moved forward or onto the ball. The ruckman get there. It's Edwards. and Rodney Joseph. Ball on the ground again. Left half forward for Bumbry. I've got a text message from Steve Britzer. I'm scared to open it. I think you've got a bit of history there. But anyway, back at half forward. No free kick given to HBL. Could have been that way with Dewar held without it. But one down. Joseph fights for the ball. Falls to ground. Pack forms around him. Ball keeps in there like a pinball. On the ground again. One down by HBL. Slung as he got the ball away, Dewar. So he was impacted by Bunbury, who over to go back and find the ball. Back feed. Left foot kick to left half forward. Player rises, but a big punch there from the defender from HBL, Caleb Harper. Does a good job there against Stenhouse. So at left half forward, the ball will be thrown in. Bunbury need to get something on the board here. They've got to get something out of this. Game is getting away from them. 51 points adrift into this third quarter of Colts action for getcareers.com.au. Falls to ground, won by Edwards. Trying to get through there was the player in Lawty for Bunbury. Still on the ground, fights again. Pressure comes. No free kick given. Umpire lets it roll on. They've been pretty good today. Let the game go. Ball falls out and thrown to the ground. There was the player in Kalani Downs. Ball thrown aloft again at left half forward.
Temper's just simmering out there. 51 points the margin. Bunbury trying to get themselves back into the game. It spills out to Lordy. Getting his hands on the footy. Drives it towards the top of the square. Spills over from Harper. They have the numbers once again. Tackle. How's the umpire going to see this one? It's rushed over the boundary line. Be thrown in. 25 metres out from Bunbury's goal. Haven't kicked a goal since quarter time. 2 goals, 1-13, 9 goals, 10-60 for the Lions. Only goal of the third quarter going the way of Dewar. Throwing in. Cherry gets front position. Comes down to Stenhouse. Tries to get a kick. Misses his boot. Comes towards Edwards in best position. Goes over the top. Misses what he should have taken. In comes the big fella in Joseph. But it spills back out to Edwards. And he's well tackled by Ziggy Fremantle. And he wins a free kick. He'll go long right in front of the commentary box. Not the best looking kick. But why wouldn't you kick it to this man? Because Manuel takes a mark right inside of the boundary line. Goes long. Beautiful looking kick. Bunbury player pulled out. Spills to Westworth. Had a nice look at goal. Gets his hand on the ball. Handballs back to Manuel. Over to Dewar, the goal kicker. He'll go long looking for Stack. And Stack's found some room in front of Teresi. And he takes a mark 40 metres out. Tight angle. And he'll go back looking for his third. He's made a bit of a meal of it, Bunbury. 2 kicks out from goal. And Stack found some space. Doesn't waste any time. Crosses 50. Deliberate shot on goal. Oh. It's working its way back. Not quite enough and through for a minor score.
Had the right shape about it.
Well, the couple we've doubted from that pocket have actually, they know what they're doing, Chase. Left to right. A terrific effort there by Stack, but only went through for a minor score.
So Bunbury here, the clean-up job. They've got to get forward and get some score on the board if there's any chance in this grand final. Takes a bounce. Does that play? Slams it on the boot. Does Pemberton for Bunbury. Gets it to Pedrocki, but one down again by HBL, who work back to half forward. Marked there by Lease. Been pretty good at half forward. Kicks a ball into the middle of the ground. Had to go and search it. Over his head was the HBL player in Panetta. He's been all right today too as well. Puts a little poking ball into half forward. And trapping it off and taking the mark there is the player in Buster Turner. So another shot on goal. The turnover job there by HBL, who have done that numerous times today. And then had really good connection in their forward half. Try as they might, Bunbury, they just can't get past half forward. Working across there is a player and really lax there by the Bunbury defenders who have stopped really running with their players. They're able to find another one, in fact, but it was turnover, but a free kick was given to the player in HBL. They work it a little bit closer through hands, so Dewar was able to sneak forward. And now 50 metres has been found as well. So from bad to worse there for Bunbury in that little passage of play. I still can't make out who's got the player, and it looks as though a card's coming out, to be honest. There's a card being found to a player. as the HBL player puts that through the middle of the goals and stretches that lead out to 57 points. Still can't make out who that player was, as a Bunbury player gets escorted off the ground.
Might be Crowley, is it?
So a yellow card there, a little bit of frustration as Evan Crowley makes his way off the ground. Who was the goal kicker?
That was Buster Turner kicked that
Was
goal.
it Buster Turner?
So when DeWer ran into that open pocket when Stack kicked to him, you thought, oh, well, it's just slack defence from Bunbury. But it looks like a set play because he's done it all over again. And then Turner ran on, received the free kick. And we don't like a yellow card in a game, but Crowley's been under extreme pressure down there without too much help. So a little bit of frustration spilled over, and Crowley will have a 15-minute spell.
So they're down to two end of the bench essentially for the next 15 minutes with Dylan Scott injured early in this game. A little bit disappointing for the Bunbury team, no doubt. He was a key player for him. This player in Dewar is having a bit of impact in this third quarter, puts the ball back inside half forward. Mark dropped there by the HBL forward. Manuel, it's the first real mistake he's made, but he goes back and cleans it up, gives it to Dewar, pumps the ball to half forward. Sitting there is Kashawn Stack. Can't get hands to it, falls to ground. There's Ward fighting for it again. Free kick's been found, gone the way of Bunbury. So without the ball, player was held. So crisis averted for now for Bunbury. They split the ball to the outer side. It's 2v1. It's probably going to be read by Joseph, but it got through his hands. So now Bunbury with some run and dash off half back. Work the ball to the centre wing. Big punch by the HBL defender. Falls to ground. Working the way through was the Bunbury player who's still on the ground. Something's happened there. He's hurt himself, but the ball gets tied up. Centre wing, just outside the centre square. Here at Hands Oval. Forgetcareers.com.au. It's Southwest Football League Grand Final Day here on SEN Spirit, streaming online on the airwaves. Getting through there, HBL player on the burn again was Falloon, puts it to left half forward for Stack, takes 2 marks in it, plays on quickly, up in the air, didn't get purchase on it, but puts it to a really dangerous position. Lots of HBL players, who's going to mark it? It'll have to be Manuel, surely.
It is.
It has to be. It has to be, it is.
Well, 2 minutes ago he showed us he was human by dropping an easy chest mark, and now he's taken a packed chest mark. And John Manuel will go back 20 metres out, directly in front, looking for his 5th. He is having a day out, this fella. In he comes now, deliberate shot on goal. Shouldn't make any mistake from here. Makes the umpire work a little bit. I think he's done enough though. And Manuel puts through another one for the Lions and puts through his 5th for the game.
That is something to behold.
He had oncoming traffic, players behind him, kept his eye on the ball, took a terrific pack mark, a chest mark mind you, and made no mistake from 20 metres out. So they have all the answers here, the Lions. Margin now out 64 points, 11 and a half minutes gone.
Oh, they're bringing him off. They've got no sense of theatre whatsoever. He could kick 15. Leave him out there. Let everyone out.
He's kicked 3 or 4 points today as well. But he's having a day out. 5 goals in a grand final, and we're halfway through the third quarter. 11 goals, 11-77. 2 goals, 1-13. The ball's back in the middle. Joseph goes up. Out muscle there by Cherry. Comes over the top. Tackle put on by Riley Priest, who's been terrific for the Lions. In they come now. One of them is Brooke. The umpire will throw the ball up. Just left to centre, Bunbury's way. And this margin ever increasing the way of the Lions. Cherry wins it down, but it goes straight back to Joseph. Gets it over to Dewar. He's up in their top 2 or 3 players as well. Dewar goes wide, and Westworth has found some space. And he'll kick from 45 metres out. And just watch for Dewar to run into open space. He's done it every other time from this distance.
Nice.
Not this time.
Work's done.
So Jeremy Westworth, heavily bandaged left knee, and he'll come in and have a deliberate shot on goal from 45 metres out, slide angle. In he comes now, runs around, gets a fair purchase. It's trying to work its way back. Going to land at the top of the goal square. They have the numbers. They're under pressure, the Bumbry defence. They get the ball out somewhat. It spills out the back. And a big tackle comes in from the Bunbury defender. And the ball will be thrown up 25 metres out from HBL's goal.
So Bunbury need to clear this one. Get a score on the board. Falls into the arms of Falloon. Gets a shot on goal. It goes across the face and out of bounds. Bunbury player on the ground with severe cramp, getting helped by his opposition, so I like that. Still, the trainer hasn't seen it. Leaves him to his own devices now, so still inside. HBL's forward 50, getcareers.com.au. Grand final day action here on SEN Spirit. Still fighting away there, and claimed again is HBL. Bunbury are unable to clear this one, so another ball up.
It was nice to see, but I think it was more a photo opportunity, Chase, than actually doing the...
No salt into the wound back just yet. Ruckman go up at it. Claim straight again, another bounce. Another ball up will be required here. Falls into a little bit of a stalemate. 3 opening scores going the way of HBL again. They've been prolific early in the starter quarters. They get it again here to the top of the goal square and not able to find their way through. So Bunbury desperately fight. Can they clear this one? They get a shoe forward off the ground. Gets marked by HBL on the turnover again, who have held numbers clearly. But caught napping there was the player from Bunbury. It was the one that was getting the cramp issues, but having the shot on goal there was the player in Fremantle of the Bow variety and was touched on the line. Through for another behind for HBL. They move 64 points clear, 11 goals, 12-78 to 2-1-13. Bunbury haven't scored a goal since the first quarter. So they clear again. Pedrocchi to the outer side. A kick to really nowhere. Falls into the arms of HBL. Gets into the arms there of Westworth. And then around a player and into the arms of Stack. But it was out of bounds. So it will require a boundary throw in. The junction of forward 50 and the boundary line. At the HBL end, the Bustleton end here of Hands Oval, bathed in sunlight on this beautiful Saturday as we get through grand final day. Falling to ground was the HBL ruckman. But again, HBL with all the numbers. So just outside forward 50, the back feed to Rodney Joseph. Gets a nice kick forward into the arms of a player who's had a lot of impact on this game. Inca Sean Stack takes the one-hander, protected the drop zone really well, and he'll have another shot on goal.
So Rodney Joseph hasn't won a lot of ruck knocks in the centre of the ground, but geez, he's done some really good work by foot and weighed up the options there, and Stack was the best option, and why wouldn't you go to him since quarter time, been terrific down forward. He's crosses 50 now. Deliberate shot on goal. It's coming back nicely. It's coming back beautifully for Stack. And he puts through another one for the Lions. His third for the day. And this margin ever increasing.
70 points.
It's up to 70 points. 16 and a half minutes gone in the third quarter. Kashawn Stack with his third. 2 in the second quarter. 1 in the third. And very, very unselfish. The whole HBL Colts team, they used the best option. And Joseph weighed that up, seen Stack as the best option. And Stack made no mistake from 45 metres out.
Their system's been really sound today, HBL. Really, really polished. There's no coincidence that they're, undefeated coming into this one. And we knew that Bumbry had all the work to do and had to get a lot of things right, and it's just not quite sticking for them at the moment. 71 points adrift, back in the middle of the ground. One down there by the Fairweather in the ruck now for HBL. They fight at it again, and they're able to force the ball up here, Bunbury. Again, they're starting to bring numbers up to the ball, which is allowing drop-off for HBL. So Fairweather works his player under the ball there. That'll be a free kick going the way of Cherry. Tried really hard for Bunbury. Gets the ball on the move to a right half forward. Able to read the flight really well. There was a player in Walker who has been moved forward. So turns his back. He's going to have a shot on goal here. To say they need it would be an understatement. We've travelled some nearly 18 minutes in this third quarter. For getcareers.com.au. So Bunbury, can they score their first goal since the first quarter? Ball's on its way. Gets great purchase on it. Great purchase, and gets one back for Bunbury. Zeke Walker there, their leading goal scorer for the year, gets one back. Brings it back under 70 points. It's now 65 on the scoreboard. It's HBL 12 goals, 12. 84 to Bunbury. 3 goals, 119.
Terrific kick there from Walker. He made 50 metres look easy. I mean, if Manuel can do it, Walker said, I'm going to have a crack at this as well, pretty much from the same position. But what a terrific kick on goal. And as you said, Chase, that's an understatement. They needed that. First goal since quarter time, since the first quarter. This margin back to 65 points. So if I can get back-to-back goals just to give themselves some sort of hope. They don't want to lie down here. This margin could be out of control.
They haven't been able to do it. Every time they've answered today, HBL have then gone bang, 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 bang. So let's see the test here.
It's the ball back in the middle. Fairweather up against Cherry. Fairweather wins the ball down. The Lions break away once again, courtesy of Priest, who's been terrific. Looks up forward. And the mark's been taken by Ward. Our man Ward. Mr. Flanagan.
The old Flanagan Ward.
Mr. Flanagan. So Tom Ward, he'll have a shot on goal. He's going for his second. Kick one in the first quarter. And to get the instant response at the next centre bounce, he'll kick from 40 metres out. Slide angle. Tom Ward. In he comes now. Deliberate shot on goal. Wobbles around a bit. Not the best purchase on it, and it just goes through for a minor score.
But again, HBL get the next scoring shot, which is not what Bunbury wanted. They need to get a couple in a row here.
Kicked better as a Flanagan, didn't he?
Anyway, so Bunbury, the clearing job here through Stenhouse. Gets it to half-back. This ball's going to come in the middle. Ursino takes the mark. Got players on the near side to boundary if he wants to use them. Not a lot of movement from behind, so he chooses to go up the middle, dropping the mark there, but keeping it going forward was a player from Bunbury. But the HBL defender comes forward, claims straight away. He's going to be holding the ball. It was pretty slick, but Bo Selleck giving away a free kick there, going to go the way of Bunbury. It was Sherry doing the tackling. It wasn't, he was just the last to get up. It was, in fact, Mitch Perry. So the skyrocket ball into half forward, into the centre of forward 50 here for Bunbury. Trying to get his way through. There was McGuinness. Can't claim the ball. Still fighting there is the player in Walker, who's been okay since he's gone forward through for Bunbury here. Pack forms. It'll be balled up just inside forward 50 for Bunbury. They're all around the ball. There's not a forward of centre. So if they kick this ball forward, it's going to be all HBL. One down by Bunbury. By hands, shot by McGuinness around his body. Out of bounds on the full. So we'll go into HBL arms again. He really needed to kick the goal there. Needs to be easy to point out, but harder to do. So HBL doing all the attacking in this Colts grand final. Very polished. Kick a ball straight up the middle. The whole ground opens up for him. What does he do with it? This player in May is to just inside the centre square. One down there by the Bunbury player in Brook by hands. Claim without it. No free kick giving. Nice little toe poke out there. Going to fall into the arms of Bellini, but he loses his feet. So now with HBL, but lots of Bunbury players. Nice bump given there. One by HBL again and tackled straight away. Good tackle there by Brook. Keeps fighting his way for his team. Needs a few others to jump on board. So a ball up just in front of the Bunbury bench. Ruckman go at it. One down by Cherry. Couldn't can get the ball there was Lawty. Back feet to McGuinness. Around his body. Puts it into half forward. Lots of HBL players there, but Bunbury come across the top. Spoil. Bring it to ground. Getting through there is one player in Britain. But it was a free kick given. So then taking the play on there was the HBL defender in Fremantle. No free kick given. Bunbury get a shot on goal. This is through heel, but it is to the left-hand side. But another score gets them 1 point closer.
Well, they just got to keep trying. So let off there, probably one of their first open shots at goal for the whole game. Ball's brought back into play, far side of the ground. Terrific kick, players go up. One of them, Saborn, spills out the back. Stacks there. Could have received the handball, but they cut inside the middle of the ground and find Fremantle. So they've got all the answers so far. Got a player inside if he wants him. Decides to go wider, looking for Stack. And he takes the mark in front of Seaborn, centre wing. He'll come into the middle of the ground and find Lease. Goes through his hands, lands in the arms of Cherry. Just puts it onto his boot. Up and down stacks there. They have the numbers here. Bumbry, one of them was Saborn, but it spills out towards Oakley. Poacher, he puts the ball down. And Butler takes the mark. Still outside 50. Smothered off the mark. It's going to land right in front of the Harvey Brunswick defence. He's wrapped up straight away. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. 30 metres out from Bunbury's goal. 65 points the margin. 12 goals, 13, 85. The Lions. 3 goals, 220 the Bulldogs. Comes over towards Lordy. Players come in now from both sides. Ball spills out. But the umpire says, I'll throw it up. Still 25 metres out from Bunbury's goal. As they look to get another one. Edwards goes up, wins the ball down, comes towards the front of goal, but they have the numbers there. How's the umpire seen this one? You've had prior opportunity, and the free kick, due to a terrific tackle, goes the way of Alex Brook.
He's tried hard this quarter, Alex.
Trying to will his team on. He'll have a shot on goal. 10 metres out, slide angle. And this for their second of the quarter. Alex Brook. In he comes now. And he's just made a mistake. Missed that completely, and it's gone through for a minor score.
It is back-to-back scores, though, for Bunbury. First time in a while. Getcareers.com.au, recycling made easy, cashforcans.com.au. So we bring you this Colts Grand Final, which sees HBL well in control of this game, but they're going to clear the ball again out of their back half. Josh Warren here with the ball, surveys his options, puts a little kick wider to the one who kicked it to him. This player here in Quinton Bell, the captain, switches the ball back to the centre of Hands Oval. Through half back. Kick to the switch. It's going to fall. Falls into the arms of the HBL player. Puts the ball up to centre wing, far side. Free kick been found somewhere. There has. It's going to go the way of HBL. So it's a HBL free kick. Centre wing, far side here at Hands Oval. Beautiful day, has to be said, here in Bunbury. Big crowd building. 4 big games across the day. All brought to you here on SENWA, SEN Spirit. Online and on the air. So Bunbury on the turnover ball. They find it here with Zeke Walker. Had a good quarter. Kicks to the outer side. So still centre wing, far side here at Hands Oval. Travelled 26 minutes in this third quarter. Back into the middle of the ground, won by Crowley. Some players working for him here. Borlini, the Bunbury defender, takes off. Puts the ball into half forward. Pack forms, but it falls to the back and won again by HBL, who will do the clearing job. Back from where it came. Westworth worked his player under the ball, but Borlini goes and finds it. Bounces away from him right on the 3-quarter time siren. Again, a strong quarter from HBL. Sees them 12 goals, 13, 85 to Bunbury. 3 goals, 3, 21. 64 points the difference. It's going to have to take something Herculean, but HBL really starting to flex their muscles on this game. As for Recycling Made Easy, cashforcans.com.au and GaretteCareers.com.au. It is the South West Football League Grand Final day. Colts action here on SEN Spirit.
All right, start of the last quarter. Crowley's back in the ruck after having a little bit of a spell. Wins the first ruck knockdown. 64 points the margin. In comes Brook. Couldn't get a handle on Downs. And the mark's taken by our man, John Manuel. Surely too far out to score. 70 metres out. He's going to pop it to the top of the square. Stack gets front position. Spills over to Westworth. He keeps it in. Clever. Tackle laid.
It was like Harlem Globetrotters sort of stuff.
He's done some good things, Westworth, when he's been on. Very clever player. Ball to be thrown up 10 metres out from the HBL's goal. 64 points the margin. Maybe a bridge too far. Knocked to the top of the square. Lands towards Hill. Just pops it onto his boot. Joseph misses it. Comes over towards Panetta. Gets a handball out. Spins around. Driving back towards the top of the square. Other Lions and in front. The mark's taken by our man Manuel.
Give him the cup, give him the medal, give him everything.
And he's going to have the opening shot of the last quarter, 1 minute in, 30 metres out, slide angle, and he's going for his 6th. And what a day out this young fella's had. John Manuel doesn't waste any time, deliberate shot on goal, and a let off. He is human, and he's pushed it through for a minor score. So that's the opening score of the last quarter. 12 goals, 14.86. 3 goals, 3.21. 65 points the margin. The ball's brought back into play.
Let's see if Bunbury can clear this one. Gets it just outside forward 50. One down there by Walker. Gets a handball. Good pressure there by HBL, but knocking it back forward was Panetta. Back inside forward 50. Player Fairweather by hands to Stack. Around one. Then the handball to the outside to Downs. Shot on goal. The best and fairest in the Colts competition this year puts it to the left-hand side. Hasn't had to do a lot today, but been okay.
Well, they've all done their part, haven't they, across the whole field?
Yeah, they certainly have. So, Bunbury, once again, they'll get another opportunity to kick the ball. They've got a bloke straight up the middle if they'd used him, but they chose not to. Went to the pack, so off hands. One down there by that player in Brook, who's tried really hard for Bunbury. Gets a clearing kick forward, but it'll be all HBL if they can control it. And not able to do so is the player in Crew McKay, who's been pretty good down back. It hasn't had to do a lot since quarter time. So it's right in front of the Bumbry bench, near side here for getcareers.com.au. It is Colts grand final action here on SEN Spirit. Back into play. One down there by Rodney Joseph into the middle of the ground, and then the forward kick there by the player in Ziggy Fremantle. Left half forward, getting around one, selling a bit of candy, then feeding the ball out is Westworth. Gets it to the top of the goal square, working back to find the ball. Got a couple of lively ones here. Ward, Stack. Ward tries to get it to Stack, but the good pressure was put on there by the Bunbury defender in right. Forces a boundary throw in. Right in front of the scoreboard, it sees HBL 12 goals, 15.87, the better of Bunbury. 3 goals, 3.21 travelled, 3.5 minutes in this fourth quarter. HBL looking for back-to-back grand final wins.
As McKay wins it down, comes out, ball pushed towards the top of the square. The mark's taken there by heel of the Bulldogs, right inside defensive 50. And they're under extreme pressure down there. Goes wide, looking for Saybourne. Carries his head, socket off the ground. Now they have the numbers. One of them is McKay. And the boundary line wins and goes out of bounds. Centre wing, 65 points the margin. Early stages of this last quarter as we've just lost the score on the scoreboard here. Ball's thrown in. Joseph done a power of work today. Pretty much rucked all day. Gets it over towards Panetta. Spills out to Saybourne for the Bulldogs. But it goes straight towards Bell, the skipper, who's been terrific. Now Cowell's there. He's got Ziggy Fremantle for company. Crowley picks it up. Fremantle puts the pressure on and wins the free kick.
Out of bounds.
Well, it's gone out of bounds just before he kicked it. So 66 points the margin. 12 goals, 15.87. And 3 goals, 3.21.
So centre wing far side. Ball one down by Joseph. Forward again for HBL. Bunbury the clean-up job. Round his corner to half forward, but HBL player waits there, but bounced the wrong way. Love Australian rules footy. Bounces this way, that away. Through Ursino to half forward. Pedricki with the mark. Still outside forward 50. Not a lot of options inside forward 50. Bunbury have lost a little bit of run. He's got one short here. Had to take it, had to make it, did. Poacher. Unfortunately, haven't called his name enough. Works the ball closer to half forward to the top of the goal square. Marked there by Bunbury. As soon as he turns around, I'll tell you who it is. So Bunbury, hopefully to get one back here. It's with Britton. So Tom Britton directly in front. 25 metres out. Shot's on its way. Puts that one through. Gets an answering goal. Gets it back to 60 points. So 10 goals. It would have to be something special here. But a nice answering goal there for Bunbury through Tom Britton.
Well, at least they worked that one through. They thought about it, went short. Good mark at centre half forward, and then found Britton at the top of the goal square. But still a bridge too far. 60 points the margin. 12 goals, 15.87. 4 goals, 3.27, the Bulldogs. And the biggest part they've got to do now is just not to give up without trying. See if they can reduce this margin. but not let it blow out to 100 points. So Joseph has been terrific in the ruck. He's basically rucked all day other than a couple of minutes in that second quarter. We spent a little bit of time at full forward. He's a good size. He's up against Crowley in the middle. It favours Joseph. Wins it down towards Priest, who's been terrific. Drives it on his boot. They go forward once again. Fairweather was in front, but spills out to our man Manuel. Gets a handball over. They drive it long to the top of the square. Spills out the back. Under pressure was Perry. Drops it onto his boot. Lands in the arm of HBL. Goes towards Hill. He couldn't get a handle of it. Spills over towards Stack. Top of the goal square. Dangerous position here for the Bumbry defence. In they come now. That's Lordy. And affects the tackle, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be thrown in 10 metres out from HBL's goal.
So deep in HBL's territory once again. We've seen it plenty of times today. Bunbury defence has had to do a lot of work, and to their credit, they've done plenty right, but the weight of numbers has really won out. So ball to be thrown back into play here. Right into the heart of forward 50 for HBL. Working his way through there was the Bunbury defender. Falls into the arms there of Panetta, but can't control it. So clears defensive 50, but it's all HBL once again. Through Bell, the captain, pumps it to right, back straight from where it came. Forming players, packs fall down. It's Ward fighting in there. Gets down, gets a handball over the top. This is with Westworth. Tries to get around one and gets a push in the back. I reckon it could have gone the other way. I thought he tried to take them on, but unfortunately the umpire's seen it differently. So a free kick's going to go to the way to Westworth. It was a really good re-entry ball again by HBL through their captain, Quinton Bell. So this is Westworth. Hasn't kicked a goal today, had a couple of shots. So this one should be reasonably elementary. 20 metres out, slight angle. Sets it on its way and puts it through. A bit of cream on the cake there for Jeremy Westworth. Stretches that league back out to 66 points for getcareers.com.au. It is HBL. 13 goals, 15, 93 to Bumbry. 4 goals, 3, 27.
He's done some really good things, Westworth. Started on the bench, but when he's come on, he's very unselfish, as is the whole team. Looks for the better option, and this time he was the better option. Received the free kick and made no mistake from 20 metres out. So good to see him get on the board. He's been good since he come on. Doesn't get a lot of the footy what I've seen today, but when he does, he makes sure he does something with it, and he gets himself on the scoreboard. So 1 goal apiece, 8 minutes gone. In the last quarter, 66 points the margin. Ball back in the middle. Joseph's been a tower of strength in there for HBL, and he's going to be up against Crowley. Favours Joseph. He wins it down. Sayborn in best position. Bounces it into his arms. He just chucks it onto his boot. Goes up Selleck. Probably spoiled his own teammate. Comes back to Sayborn. Then he drives it forward once again. Brooks there. Missed a goal in that third quarter. He should have kicked. But it spills out towards Beau Fremantle. Chucks it onto his boot. It's our man Manuel. He's even getting the bounces now. He's got Hill for company. Backs his pace in. Has a couple of bounces. Drives it forward. And Bellini cuts across in front of Stack as he was just about to mark the ball and takes the relieving mark. Finds Sayborn still inside defensive 50. He's going to go wide and finds Stenhouse still inside defensive 50. So just maintaining possession. Has Sayborn short if he wants him. Decides to go to the middle of the ground looking for McGuinness. And McGuinness takes a mark inside the centre square. Play on at all costs. Spoil each other there. That was Cherry. Picks it up. Now he's got Ziggy Fremantle for company. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Centre wing right in front of the commentary box. 66 points the margin. Halfway through this last quarter.
Rightio. So Bunbury just trying to limit the damage here. HBL look forward to holding the cup aloft again. One down off the hands of Crowley, who's gone into the ruck here for Bunbury. Not a lot of movement here. Both teams just looking for the finishing line, I think, at this point. One a little bit happier than the other. Ball gets thrown back in. Again, Joseph wins the ball straight down. Worked forward there by the player in Panetta. And then getting pushed across the line there was Britton. Kicked a goal in this quarter. So boundary throw it again. Near side, hands oval. HBL leading 13-15-93 to Bunbury 4-3-27. Travelled 11 minutes in this fourth quarter. Forgetcareers.com.au. One down by Joseph, then through the arms of Lease. Gets the ball to half forward, but turned over by Bunbury. Take a relieving mark. Not a lot of movement. He's got a couple of players working through the middle of the ground. Chooses not to do that. Sends it from back where it came. And Rising was the player there in Saborn. Gets off hands, kicks the ball forward, but again, it's all HBL. Relieving mark taken at right half forward. He'll choose to go long down the line. Let's see them rise. Players go up. Nice sit there from Fairweather. Couldn't bring it down. Again, work to half forward. Player from Bunbury works through the defender, takes around one, then looks for a little kick cut to the outer side. Mark was dropped, so has to go back and find it by Brooke, who's tried really hard for his team today. Again to half forward. This is with the player from HBL. I think he was cramping on the way through there. He is. He was hot stepping, but falls there for the player in Joseph. So it was a scrubby old ball in there by the fairest and best player, Kalani Downs, who is in fact cramping. I wasn't seeing things. And Rodney Joseph, who's had a really solid game today, both in the ruck and around the ground. So left half forward. Just left of centre, right foot kicks on its way. He's bellied it. It was no good, so it's either going to be out of bounds on the full or touched across the line. It is, so it'll be a boundary throw in just around from the right-hand point post for HBL. Never looked likely there. He'll go and do the ruck work again. So ball thrown back into play. One down by Joseph. Working through there as the Bunbury defender gets a handball forward. Then getting through was Saborn, and then the clean-up job dealt with after he was kicked. So it'll be a free kick here. Goes the way of Zeke Walker. Relayed free kick up the ground. If he moves quickly, he's got players out the front. But if he doesn't, HBL get back in number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 3. So he can't go forward. He's got to use these short options. For McGuinness, goes into the middle of the ground, off hands for HBL, and this will allow them to clean up because they got the numbers. Gets around one there, does the player in Lease, puts it back to half forward, but the Bunbury player in Saborn got claimed straight away. It'll be a high free kick given. Got to move quickly. There's not a lot of run from behind. It's all stopped for the Bunbury Bulldogs. Well adrift in this game. The sidewards ball, tempted with danger, but won by Stenhouse. Goes to half forward, over the head of the player there in Crowley. Back into HBL hands. They've worked it back to the middle of the ground. This is Priest. Kicks it to the outer side for a running half-back. Takes one bounce. It's to 50. Flying shot on goal is a beauty! Great turnover ball there. It was Cruz McKay, the vice-captain, who's had a pretty solid day from half-back. Set sail from 50, had options in the goal square. They watched it sail over their head, puts another one on the board.
Seen three of the best goals from outside 50, pretty much from the same spot. And that's a podium finish there from McKay. Had a bounce, assessed the situation. His teammates let it go through, and from 50, he had made no mistake. He gets on the scoreboard, and that was off halfback. Terrific effort from Cruz McKay. Margin now 72 points, 14 minutes gone in the last quarter. So the players, I think both teams know where this is going to finish. I think we've known that for a while. And Cruz McKay, what a terrific goal, late stages of this quarter. A little bit of an assessment of the 6-6-6 here. Ball's back in the middle. Rowan Harns moved into the ruck. So they've changed their ruckman a little bit. Late stages. He's opposed by Pedroki. Spills out towards Saburn. He's been pushed into the middle. DeWers there. That's back to McKay. Gets a handball over. Collard there for Bumbry first there. Sockers it off the ground. Then goes the man. Now he picks the ball up. Gets around a couple. Handball over to Ballini. Just chucks it onto his boot. But falling back is that last goal kicker, and McKay plays on straight away. Tries to be cute. Lands in the arms of Saborn. But he's well wrapped up by Dewar. The umpire will throw the ball up. 70 metres out from HBL's goal. 72 points the margin. Pedroki does the ruck work, comes back over to Dewar. He puts it to the top of the square. Stack's going to have a run. So does Joseph. Spills to Westworthy. Couldn't get a handle on it. Now the ball's in dispute. Top of the square. Back to Joseph. Handball there towards Fremantle. Snap on goal.
It's Ward.
our man Ward. And it goes through for a minor score.
He did kick much better as a Flanagan, has to be said.
We do apologise, but he's had a fair bit of the footy as a Flanagan and a Ward.
So we're going to have to go and search for the ball here. Forgetcareers.com.au. A big result here for HBL. They're going to go back-to-back. The perfect season. So got a few minutes to work their way through here to get to that position with Bunbury looking to clear through O'Reilly. Long ball to centre wing. Players form, throwing their arms up in the air and able to mark. There was a player in Hahn. Like a good beer, works it to half forward. Through Fremantle. This is Bowe working for Stack on the outer side, who marks. And as they have done all day, they've found the better option. And why wouldn't you? Because it's landed in the arms of this man again, Manuel. He's kicked 5 already on the day. This for his 6th. And both of those players have had a big impact on how well HBL have gone since quarter time. So, Manuel to cap what has been an outstanding day. 17 minutes gone. Shot is on its way. And he's worked it to the near side. 5 goals, 5. So there's some symmetry in that, Weaver, at least.
Yes. Well, we know that number, don't we? Because he's had a fair bit of the footy. He's had a terrific day out, man. Well, a couple of let-offs, especially in this last quarter. Ball's brought back into play and it finds Cherry, who's had a pretty good game. He's tried his heart out for the Bulldogs. He's hadn't had a lot of support. Drives it along the wing looking for Pedrocchi. Gets front position. Now it spills out to the skipper. Comes back towards Lordy. He couldn't get a handle on it. Spills over to D-War. Handball there to Falloon. Now they're in a little bit of trouble. Spills out towards Stenhouse. Tries to get a handle on it. They're under pressure down there. Pedrocchi's there. He's got to get rid of it quick. Does so, but it lands into a nest of HBL players, and one of them is Harper. Plays on there. Across the front is Borlini.
Had to be a free kick.
And the free kick will go the way of Riley Priest.
They had all the numbers. He didn't need to do it. A little bit clumsy there.
So Priest too far out to score. 55 metres out. Looking there for Stack. Found himself alone. 1 grab, 2 grab. Recovers, second effort. He'll snap from 30. And he's put through a minor score. So 32 scoring shots. 14 goals, 18, 102. The Lions. 4 goals, 3, 27. 75 points the margin. 19 minutes gone in the last quarter. Geez, that would have been nearly goal of the day from Stack. He's been terrific since quarter time. Really presented well. Pushed up and down the ground. He's got 3 goals, and that would have been a beauty. Ball's brought back into play and finds McGuinness still deep inside 50. Handball's over, trying to be a little bit cute, but they find Lamotte in the middle of the ground. He'll go wide, looking for a teammate in Collard. Goes down the middle looking for Brook. Once again, they have the numbers. Spills out the back towards Walker. He's tried hard down there, limited opportunities. In comes Selleck. They win the ball, and away they go again.
Yeah, so HBL on the burn again to the outer side. Falls into the arms of Stack. Crosses through 50. Flying shot on goal. Sets it up to the top of the square. Rising was Manuel, but couldn't find it. And was punched through by the Bumbry defenders. So another point there for HBL as Bunbury look to clear again. If anything, they've had a lot of kick-out practice today, some 19 points kicked. As they look to clear here, Bunbury again, they've worked it to this part all right. It's just from this point on, but they get one through here, get it to half forward through a 1v1. Turn-up's not too bad from Bunbury. Getting through there was the player from Bunbury in Perry. Gets it to forward, inside forward 50 player, all on their own here is the player in Zeke Walker. Takes one bounce. He's going to walk this one home just to get one back on the board. So good play there. Unfortunately, it's taken until the fourth quarter to see a play like that. But a good goal there. Worked through by Zeke Walker, who's kicked a couple since going forward. Gets it back to a 70-point margin even on the scoreboard. as we've travelled 21 minutes in this grand final. Forgetcareers.com.au, recycling made easy. Cashforcans.com.au, save your cans, get 10 cents a piece. And do your bit for the environment. And Pacific Seeds have also helped us today. Reliable canola, that's Reggie. All HBL in this grand final. 14 goals, 19, 103 to Bumbry, 5-3, 33. Travelled 21 minutes in this last quarter. These are, for the team that's at the right end of the scoreboard, these are some of the best moments in football, Weave.
Oh, absolutely. For the other team, you just want it to end and end as quick as possible. This time, it's Hahn in the ruck. In comes De Weer, misses the ball. Driven forward once again by Bunbury. They have the numbers. One of them is Selleck. And on the far side of the ground, he finds Falloon. Play on straight away. Looks into the middle of the ground. That was Hahn. Starting to get his hands on the ball now. Spills over to De Weer. They have numbers. And one of them is a skipper in...
It's Downs.
It's down, sorry. The fairest and best winner drives the ball long. Best position is Hill, but it's a free kick being paid. Back at 50.
Going the way of Downs, I think.
And it'll go the way of Downs. Probably too far out to score. Looks inboard. Overcooks the kick. Could end up all right. It spills out there towards Priest. Snap on goal. It'll land at the top of the square. Across the front came Stack. And it goes through for a minor score. This could have been a lot nastier than what it is. I mean, it's still a massive margin. 14 goals, 20, 104. 5 goals, 3, 33. So a huge margin. Brought back into play. Panetta's there. Wins the ball down. He'll have to retrieve it again. He does so. Tries to knock the ball up. Spills to Ucino. Took mark in the match. Puts it towards the middle of the ground. Walker gets his player underneath it. Spills out
again
to Brook. Now they have a player out wide. And that player is Britton. If it sits for him, he can run into an open goal. Should have a bounce. He's going to kick from 20. And he makes no mistake. And a goal late in the game goes the way of the Bulldogs. One of the few times they've got out the back of the Harvey Brunswick defence. And Brook set it up for Britton, and Britton made no mistake.
2 times this quarter. So HBL just taking their foot off the gas a little bit, but why wouldn't you? You're 14 goals, 20, 104 to 6 goals, 3, 39. Big advantage as we've travelled 23, nearly 24 minutes in this last quarter. It is South West Football League Grand Final action across SEN Spirit online, on the app, wherever you're watching or listening from. Hope you're enjoying the call. Chase Creedy and Nigel Reeve alongside you. Back in the middle of the ground. Should be a free kick going the way of Bumbry. Just a little bit clumsy. So back with Bumbry. They'll work the ball. Cherry to half forward. But a mark's been taken by HBL. They've been resolute down there, and the captain's been a big part of that. Splits the ball to the outer side, does Bell. And then all the run comes from HBL. Takes one bounce. Could have taken another. Puts it up towards Keyshawn Stack's direction. Gets hands to it. Gets down, fights. Gets a nice little tap on. Great tackle there by the Bunbury defender to stop the play forward. Well done. So a ball up. Just outside the centre square. At right half forward for HBL. Dying stages. Falls down again, players pack forms, ball spills out open now. Here's HBL through McGuinness, by hands forward with Cherry now. Hands inside to McGuinness, little kick over the top, players all on their own if they can get them there. It goes a little bit shorter for Saborn. It wasn't Saborn, in fact it was Brook. Brook gets around one, puts it inside forward 50, it's a 1v1. Looking to fight in there is Britton. Trying to get through was Brook, couldn't get the ball. Cleared by HBL. They work the ball to the outer side. This is Ziggy Fremantle. Bounces back over his head, so he feeds a hand inboard. He had a runner there if he could get to him, was Downs. But Ziggy goes back and finds it. Feigns for a free kick, but none given. So well held up there by Brook. He's fought the hard fight for Bumbry today as Brook. Hahn gets a hand to it. Versus Cherry in the ruck there. Brook fights for the ball. Claimed by Downs again. So, right in front of the HBL bench. Ball gets thrown aloft. One down there by the player in Priest. Gets a handball inside. Won by Bumbry. Free kick's been found, going the way of Bumbry. Player here in Poacher. Kicks it to Brook. Still outside forward 50. Surveys his options. Lots of HBL numbers back there. In fact, it was affected by Falloon off the mark. So good pressure. Fighting all the way here through. Coming forward was the Bunbury defender. He's had a pretty good day at it as the big fella down back. Played a bit good game. It's out of bounds. It's that player in heel. I reckon he's been pretty good down back. He's tried hard.
Well, he's been under a fair bit of pressure, hasn't he? And Crowley was terrific in that first half. But he's kept on trying heel. As Westworth, he very clever there, got the ball over the boundary line, didn't look like a great effort. Anyway, the ball's thrown back in. Hahn gets front position. He had Ucino for company this time. Spills out. In comes that man heel again. Lays a terrific tackle. And the ball will be thrown up. Centre wing, right in front of the members box. 65 points the margin. 14 goals, 21-04. The Lions, 6 goals, 3-39. The Bulldogs.
Cramp keeps setting in for Kalani Downs.
I've seen something here.
Blood
rule.
So Cherry will have to head off for Prodruki.
Probably been their best today, Cherry. I like the way he's gone about it. Him and Hill. I just want to make a special mention too to the umpires. I think they've been terrific today. They let the game play on, called the obvious ones. They've done an outstanding job.
Set the standard for today.
Ball in the middle. This time Harm wins it down. Still putting the pressure on. In they come now. And that man Hill wants to get another couple of tackles before this season's over.
And that is the siren, and it sees HBL a season of absolute perfection. 14 goals 20, 104 to Bumbry, 6 goals 3, 39. To the victors go the spoils. Harvey Brunswick, Leschenault, big winners here. It is 14 goals 20, 104 to Bumbry, 6-3, 39. As the players are surrounded by family, friends and all they hold dear as they celebrate a back-to-back grand final and a year of perfection. We'll be back after a short break to wrap up what has been a great Colts grand final for recycling made easy. Cashforcans.com.au, getcareers.com.au.